your division or whatever. I mean, it because it goes to show how much work you actually put in. And that's what it's all about, really. I mean, yeah, you want to win, but it's about how much work you put in and the time and and sometimes the showmanship, can get you over that hump. If a judge is having a hard time deciding between one or two, how you present your animal, whether it's pig, sheep, goat, steer or heifer or whatever. I mean, that can get you over the hump. I mean, just a better showman or, show female is something that's going to get you maybe over the hump when a judge is having a hard time between one or two animals, so.
That sounds like it makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, let's relate it to the amount of time that Caitlin Clark shoots a basketball, and people appreciate it, and that's, to me, I mean, what this is about. It kind of separates you from the others. So we do have quite a few out there for senior showmanship. And one of the things is obviously you want to make eye contact with the judge, you know, and keep your swine, in front of him and make sure he's always. One, two, three. Always together. They're always together. They don't ever separate. Come back together. Chris having fun with some of our girls over here, the exhibitors. And that goes back. I mean, they know each other, and Chris has a good time with them.
Well, the great thing is, so Sam Paul, I'm just going to call him legendary ag instructor at MHS. Sam and I went to school together,
right?
And his wife, we all went to school together. And then they actually lived, 4 or 5 houses down from us, from Mallory and I, where we live, until they went out to the farm. And so, we've known them all forever. And, of course, the girls play sports.
Right.
So know them from that and this. And, I ran into Mallory's mom, Jen, one of the people I ran into getting food. And she's like, well, yeah, what'd you think of that? And I'm like, I was trying to salvage the broadcast. Like, I didn't get to see much. She's like, well, that crazy pig just backed into the corner and wouldn't move.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, that doesn't sound good. Again, not knowing squat.
Right.
So I just thought I'd ask Mallory if that was what she planned on. And, I don't know much about this, but I think that's not what you're supposed to do with the pig. And she just gave me a look. I get that look of death from her often.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, and that's, and it's just, it's what I like about the fair. It brings out personalities. It brings out, a lot of things that, a lot of people don't get to see, and sometimes with in kids, and I like that. I mean, it's fun that way, and those three girls have a great personality, and they're great girls,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and but it's, you got to keep them on their toes too.
Yeah, I mean, and they take my shit well.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
they get it.
Yep, exactly. And but those girls are fun. I do enjoy having them around, and like I say, they have their own unique personalities, all three of them, and those are the other two are the Paul girls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. And they like to give it back too. Don't get.
They do.
Don't get me wrong.
Mallory thought she was going to win by saying, "Well, pigs are the third smartest animal," and I'm like, "And it still outsmarted you to the corner." I don't know that made your argument.
It did.
Like,
It
I mean,
did.
come on now.
That's. Oh, we got our camera person here. As I'm sure she'll help me later on when you have to skedaddle to a wonderful opportunity that you will have this afternoon for veterans.
I think that'll be pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Again, I know as we talked about this last night as we wait for the rest of the show to keep going here. We talked last night on the Queen and Princess contest that, we're going to go outside of our Muscatine boundaries for one night only.
Right.
And we don't make exceptions like that very often, but you know what? For veterans,
You have to.
right?
I mean,
And so Randy Couture, the MMA guy, has a foundation that's doing a fundraiser motorcycle ride on Saturday. Normally he comes, but of course he was in an accident and is not able to come.
right.
But they're of course still doing the ride, and he's going to come back later at some point when he can and kind of redo the ride. But they're doing a fundraiser night at our bar in Bettendorf, and they asked Joe Braymeyer to host it and MC it and do some live streaming and stuff. So we're going to go. Joe's got his podcast from the Wilton area. He's the Treadmill Heroes guy,
Yep.
as a lot of people know him.
I'm looking across right here at Paul Beatty. He had Paul Beatty on his podcast, kind of telling his story.
Yep.
To how he was ended up in a wheelchair, paralyzed, and that was neat because Paul and I go way back, and Paul's a good guy, and I've always, and just for him to, it's stuff like that. That's what he's doing is people telling their story and how everything happened to Paul and.
What I love about what he's doing is it's a little longer format. Most of the episodes are hour and a half, and we're going to be stepping in and helping him produce them here as soon as we can kind of get some schedules coordinated and get that stuff all sort of hammered out. But I think it's and we've always said Discover Muscatine wasn't ever planned to just be the city of Muscatine. It was Muscatine County, right? And our what do you want to call it? Stepbrother to the north?
Right, exactly.
Just kidding.
I mean,
I'm probably going to get a bunch of Wilton hate mail for that, but no, but you know what I mean.
Right,
like Wilton,
exactly.
West Liberty, like they're all. I've always considered them. It's just like
right. Everybody's got their own thing too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not easy to get to everything.
No.
By any means.
Well, and they each, West Liberty and Wilton, obviously being the two larger ones, they are separate communities.
Right.
But we're all intertwined.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, the number of people that work in one, live in the other. I mean, I can get from my house in Muscatine to the fairgrounds faster than I can get to the south side of Muscatine.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not quite faster, but pretty close.
But similar. Yeah, similar times.
Same going to Wilton. Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. Monica Austin is going to be there performing. And so we'll be sitting over in the corner interviewing a bunch of the sponsors and some of the veterans and some of that stuff. And it should be a pretty cool night. Again, I got to give a huge shout out to Jimmy Greenhaw and those guys. out at Next Gen Motors. They're one of the sponsors of actually both of these events. They're a sponsor for the veterans event tonight, and of course a huge sponsor of the fair. And I have to tell you this, folks. So I've told you before that they always provide us a Segway to help us get our gear around the fairgrounds and be able to get places quickly so that we can broadcast more stuff, right? Well, while I was standing getting my burrito, Eric Collier's standing there. He's like, "Man, that's a pretty nice Segway you're rolling around in." He's like, "I wouldn't have anticipated you having one of those."
Right.
And I just grinned. I'm like, "Yeah, it is pretty nice, isn't it?"
Yep, it works.
Did you notice? You notice, the red and black, the Segway matches the red and black in my cases.
Oh,
like
that's
all
right.
My video gear.
Yeah.
And he's like, I actually did notice that. And he's like, "You gonna let Wyatt drive that?" I'm like, "Well, see, here's the thing." And they know us. Like, he knows I have no reason to have one.
Right.
Like, yeah, no, that's Next Gen. Next Gen takes care of us really well.
Right.
So, no, I'm probably not going to let Wyatt tootle over.
No.
And,
that's probably not a good thing.
No. So all of our boys are like that 13, almost 14 range.
Right.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way I'm handing the keys to that.
No.
If they want to go somewhere in the neighborhood or something, Wyatt can ride the mower or
Scooter or something like that. Yeah.
No, I'm not giving him that.
No. And then, I mean, it's just a safety thing, and they're good kids and they're responsible.
They are. They're all good. They're all, yeah.
But when you get 13 and 14-year-old boys together, it's
yeah.
It could be a disaster real fast.
It can. So this, explain to me what's going on right now, because it kind of looks like 7, 8-year-olds playing soccer. Like they were all bunched up, and then they spread out a little bit, and then they bunched. So what do we got going on here?
Okay, what they're trying to do is draw attention to their animal, and that's when they're all bunched up, and then they'll spread out and kind of see if the judge follows them as well. You know what I mean? They want the judge to have...
Just 9 individuals out here for senior showmanship. Had them pin, asked them one simple question, or open-ended question, I guess. Tell me about your pig, because all 9 of these individuals are very capable of driving their animal out here, but just wanted to see who is knowledgeable about their project, who's putting in the hours at home, and I think all of them did a very, very good job. For me, showmanship's won throughout the course of the day as much as it is out here, and I think within these top 5 individuals, I think they separate themselves from a comfort standpoint, from ability to navigate the ring. Go ahead and talk them from 5th up to 1st. Leave a little suspense there for our champion. But for me, the individual that's going to be 5th has done a very, very good job. What separates her from the individuals that are going to be ahead of this person today is their ability to be on the right side of the group sometimes when it's just them out here. Do a very good job. Very, very knowledgeable. Thought this individual did a very good job. Young lady with the red gilt's going to be 5th overall. Let's congratulate her. From there, it's kind of splitting hairs or a number of different ways you can go. For me, there's one that I thought hit me with an extremely hard initial impression. The longer they're out there, the harder they're kind of fighting it, and the further they're kind of ending up down on my card. For me, the next one that I like is the young lady with the blue belt. She'll be 4th. Let's congratulate her. Individual that's going to be 3rd maybe didn't hit me with an extreme initial impression, but a knowledgeable individual about their pig and came out of the pins extremely hard. Eye contact's awesome. Really, really like the way this young man in front of me shows pigs. He'll be 3rd. Let's congratulate him. Grand and Reserve are close and tried to push them over here to the corner and see who could navigate a group, who could drive their pig hard and get them to me. Thought both of these separated themselves very, very well. And there was an initial image of the person that's going to be Reserve. Saw this person see a group coming, kind of pause her pig, wait him back and rock him back and then shoot him through and allow me to see him with just him in the picture. Thought that was awesome because I really, really like the way they do that. Young lady with the black pig here is going to be Reserve. Let's congratulate her. And then our champion showman's done a fantastic job all day, knowledgeable about his project, great on the stick, been driving the wheels off this pig all day long. Young man with the belted gilt here will be champion. Let's congratulate him.
And it's a big thing to win showmanship. I mean, it really is, because it shows that, okay, guess what? I put the most work in. I know the most about my pig. I know, it's a big thing. I mean, some people, yeah, you don't get to go to the, showdown later on with your pig, but I mean, it still shows who's put in a lot, the most time, and that's what it's, and that's what these projects are supposed to be about. I mean, yeah, everybody wants to win, but what it does is, I always got really close with my animals, my steers and heifers. I mean, I'd get to a point where I could throw a halter over my shoulder and they would follow me around. I didn't even have to pull on them or, anything like that. And it was so much, and it's fun, to be able to have an animal, that just follows you around. You walk out into the middle of the field and you walk up and you can scratch them, and it just shows how much work you put into it. And that's, to me, what it, is about. And, yeah, you want to win, but it's about, how much time and you get attached to them. And it's just like a dog or a cat, or, you get attached to them. And that's, to me, that's how it is.
That's, I think the interesting thing that, for me, that I always kind of like am surprised by is how short these animals' lives are.
Yes.
Right? Like, yep. I don't know. I mean, I'll admit, I don't know what I thought it would be.
Right.
Like, I don't know if I necessarily thought it was like, years or what exactly it was.
Right.
But, I mean, what's an average pig's lifespan by the time they...
I mean, if you're... Now, the barrows, when we get to those later, that's a year and they're done. I mean, you know what I mean? Yep. And now the gilts that we're just finished kind of depends on the gilt itself. I mean, they varies. I mean, yeah, you can have a gilt that is 13, maybe 14 max, and she's done, years sane. But you could also have a 3-year-old and then she just stops producing, and,
right.
and that's what it comes down to. And it's that way with every, species,
right.
Steers you get 1 year, heifers, right. You obviously want to keep for 8 or 9 years, right. Before you decide to move on from them. But I mean, it's the same with pigs. It's the same with sheep. It's, and by steers, there's bulls, and steers they'll like, or in barrows are the same way. They castrate them, and that's why you only get a year. And the reason why that happens is because for whatever reason, I don't know the reasoning behind it. I'd have to do some research on my own. But their teeth will start to fall out, and after, I mean, yeah, you can keep them around, but then they're just not eating. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's the gestation of the animals. On the female side, are definitely dependent on how they produce, and sometimes nature, is just, you might get a year or two.
Nature.
Yeah,
I mean,
what I mean, and I had a couple of different heifers that were that way. She just, you'd show them, and sometimes that takes something out of them when you drag these animals all over Kingdom Come to these shows, and then they can't breed right, and so then you obviously lose that one. But it's just, oh wow, he's already done with the junior side. And
Got quite a few junior showmen, so going to do a couple heats of them. Going to keep back 4 in this particular drive in no particular order. Young man right here in front of me thought does an awesome job. Going to go ahead and send him back. We'll bring him back out. Young lady here with the belted gilt in front of me is also going to say and sort her on later on down the line. Young lady with the white gilt over here to my right, and then the other young lady here with the belted guild or belted appearing guild here will be the 4 we keep. Just you 4, I think, do a very, very good job. Just need to continue working on spacing, continue working on getting your pig to where I can see him in a quicker fashion, but you guys got bright futures. You're just juniors. Let's congratulate all 8 of those exhibitors. Those 4 I mentioned can go ahead and pin, sort them on next.
So that is really cool to have 2 different sets of classes for junior showmen. And that's, kids that are 4th grade through 8th grade. To get them back out here in some circumstances, maybe some of them haven't shown yet because they just brought barrows. But you're talking about 4th grade through 8th grade kids that have been up since 6 o'clock this morning, rinsing their pigs off and getting ready to show, and then they're still coming back, and showing for showmanship. And really, there's no real prize per se at the end of the, other than saying, you won showmanship, which, it isn't it's like I said earlier, it's very awesome to get, but it's not the end goal of what you really want.
Right.
And if you didn't maybe do so well, in your class, and you're still coming back up here for showmanship, and that says a lot about having 2 different classes of showmen that want to be your junior showman champion. So I really like seeing that. That doesn't happen very often.
Well, I think the biggest thing, and this goes across anything that the youth are connected to, is participation numbers are great.
Right.
We talk about this, and I know I kind of kick back to sports a lot, but
that's a way to relate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's you look at things like the number of kids playing travel basketball and the number of kids playing local basketball, and then the total pool gets larger, and then your varsity team gets better, and it goes across all the sports, and that's just the one aspect of the quality of that varsity team.
Right.
It doesn't take into account the entire net positive on all of these kids.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, can having this many kids participate start maybe increasing how well the Muscatine area does at state and stuff like that? Of course.
Right. Oh, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the icing on the cake, right?
Right.
The
exactly.
real win is the number of kids that are learning how to manage things and how to handle adversity when the cow, pig, horse doesn't do what you want it to.
Exactly.
Or sometimes nature just takes its course and you have to accept it. So
right.
I think it's just a great thing all the way around the horn.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, it makes the kids better when they are out there and the judges tell them, hey, maybe do this different, maybe do that different. It makes them better. You know what I mean? And that's and that's, to me, it creates a camaraderie between your kids as well. That's one thing that I really noticed in the pig barn side of it, especially, is how well these kids interact with each other. They have fun, and they play games, and it's just, and it's no different than like a travel basketball team where you meet new kids and you interact with new kids, and maybe it gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit, and it helps develop these kids into well-rounded human beings, and that's what we're trying to do here as a parent. That's what I was trying to do, and and it gets them ready for the real world. Some days your job, you're not going to agree with your boss, or you're not going to like what he has to say, or unless it's a circumstance like you where you're your own boss, it kind of doesn't matter. But in not everybody has that fortune of you're just not going to agree, and you're going to you just got to learn how to pivot and get better at what you do, or learn from it, and that's what it's all about is creating a well-rounded human being, and that's what we want as parents is for our kids to succeed, and in order to succeed they have to face challenges and have to fail sometimes, and that's what to me makes this well worth its while.
Got a couple from this heat pinned back to go ahead and resort, but the 4 individuals remaining are doing a very good job. A couple of them, eye contact is awesome. Just need to make sure we get our pig out here where we can see him on the front end of the group from time to time. But you guys got bright futures. Got no doubt you're going to be great showmen. Just continue to work at home. Going to get to do a great job. Let's congratulate those 4 as they exit the ring.
So now that he's sorted through the 2 classes here of junior showmanship, it just blows me away. 2 classes of junior showmanship. Wow. Wow. After a long morning of being out and about since probably 6 o'clock this morning, getting ready for show day, I mean, that's... wow, it just goes to show you how good of a job these parents are doing with these kids and how much they want to actually be out here. And he made one thing that he said, the eye contact. That's so huge. I mean, and showing. And another thing is that I was always taught is you want to smile. Or you don't want to scowl on your face, and when you're showing, I mean, you're enjoying your project. This is what all the work you put in for is all about. You put in all this work, and then you get to go out and show off kind of what you did, all year to get to this point. And so, you want to be proud of it and have fun with it. I don't know that I've seen as many people. I don't know. You get like 50 phone calls a day, I think, Chris. You're a popular guy.
Slow day, my friend.
Oh, shoot. So,
Toby, you sound surprised.
no, I'm not. That's what I mean. It's like, okay, well, Chris has got another phone call. But anyway, I wanted to ask you. You said Bailey is really good friends with you guys. Bailey, is it Danner? Is that
Danner, well, her and Wyatt have gone to school together since like preschool.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, you know how it is with kids that have known each other that long.
Right.
I mean, we're not like hang out all the time kind of thing, but I mean.
Well, and let's be honest, it's 2 different ends of the spectrum. You guys do your thing, and they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the things that you have in common might not be. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a
got our top
full-blown
6 here
farmer,
in junior
so.
showmanship, and
And
the competition is incredible here. I think all 6 of you do a great job, and the future's bright. Even as we continue on down the line, going to go ahead and again talk them 5th through 5th on up to 1st or champion here. For me, I think the one that's going to be 5th is the young lady here with the gild in the middle of the ring there. So smooth and comfortable the way she navigates the ring, and unfortunately that almost works to her disadvantage at times because she finds herself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pigs on the other side of the group. But when it's just her and I out here, can flat stick one and does a very, very good job. Let's congratulate her on being 5th. Very nice job done. Kind of a similar story for the individual that's going to be 4th, the young man on the far side. So calm in his demeanor as he navigates the ring and comfortable as he goes. He drives his pig with just a little more authority than I thought the young lady that'll be 5th. But again, finds himself maybe 1 too many times on the far side of the group. Does a fantastic job, though. My compliments to him. I think the decision for me lies in 3, 2, and 1, and it's splitting hairs and a number of different ways you want to go. For me, 3rd, I think all 3 of them do a great job, but 3rd is going to be the young lady here with the blue gilt. Just didn't see her as the same quickness to hit those holes as the 2 that are going to be grand in reserve. That's being very nitpicky on a very job well done. 1 and 2 are close for me between the 2 individuals here with the black pigs. Just thought the one that had the extra intensity, the extra smoothness as they turn the corner and continues to bring into the middle of the ring. Young man's going to be reserve. Young lady's going to be champion. Let's congratulate both those exhibitors.
Congratulations on your showmanship there.
You need that?
Now I believe we're going to take a break for pictures and a quick lunch break here. I'm going to check with one of our superintendents here that do a wonderful job
Congratulations
behind
to
the scenes.
Avery Sauer, your junior showmanship
Let's see
winner.
what time we're actually going to start back
Congratulations to
up.
Zach Feldman on 2nd place, Bailey Danner on 3rd, Bo Wurzbacher on 4th, and Natalie Wagaman on 5th. We will be taking a break until noon for lunch and pictures.
We'll be back at noon.
The show will start back up at noon.
So we'll walk away and definitely get out and enjoy. They have a $10 pork producers dinner out here that they're going to have. We're going to step away here for a minute or two. Grab something to eat, and we'll be back. I don't know that we'll be back before. I think we'll be back before 12 o'clock, but we're going to step away for a minute here, and hopefully you guys can get down here to the fair if you're watching at home at some point today. It's going to be a good day.
Just a reminder that the pork producers are serving a $10 lunch over here on the northeast side of the barn. And a special thanks to Community Bank and Trust, as they are serving ice cream over here on the northwest side of the barn.